All right, we are now in the unfortunate situation that we got our car stuck. And now is the important thing, how do I get my car unstuck again, and how do I safely get my car out of this situation again. Important is first to analyze the whole situation, to see how is your surrounding, how is the road looking in front of you, how is the road looking behind you, what is the best way to get out again, to the front or to the back. You need to realize and think about all the things you need to do to make it more easier to get out. You know, sometimes there's not another car around, sometimes no other people are around who can assist you with this. So you have different options and certain things that you must do to help yourself also to get out of this situation. If you haven't done it before, you need to reduce your tire pressure now. This is really, really important. If you were driving with about 1.8 bar, which is recommended for gravel or for sand, and if you're stuck, then of course reduce your tire pressure even more. Now you can go down to about 1.2 bar, or if you really don't get out of the situation, you can even go down to about 0.8 bar per tire pressure. So in this case, my tire pressure on this side is still quite hard. So now I'm going to reduce this tire pressure. So because of my quite hard tire pressure, this was one reason why I got stuck in the first place. The other reason is, as you can see, the car was only engaged in 2x4. This caused that only the back tires were spinning and were powered by the car, and the front tires were actually a drag and they didn't support the car in going through the sand. So this is how I analyze the situation, and now I need to engage the correct gear, reduce the tire pressure, and also free the car from the sand. You can see there's a lot of sand in front of the tires. To help you better to come out of this situation, you need to remove as much as possible sand from your tires and to give it a better road to get out of the situation. You can either do this by hand or with the shovel provided. And this you do in front and back. Okay. At ASCO we also provide extras for rental. So if you know you're going into very sandy areas, there's also the possibility for you to rent rubber tracks, sand tracks with us to help you get unstuck more quick. These will be placed in front of the tire into the direction you want to move. And you do it with at least 2 tires. The next thing you must do is, of course, engage the correct gear. And if you're stuck already, then of course the only option for you is actually your low gear. Now, this is where the car and the engine has the most torque and the most power, and this will help you to more easily get unstuck. The other very important thing about engaging low gear is that you prevent your clutch from burning. With this Land Cruiser, this is a manual car, so it also has a manual clutch. And especially in situations like this, it can be that people tend to let the clutch slip a lot, and this can cause it to burn and break. Clutch failure will completely immobilize your car, so you will not get this car out of this situation again, because your engine and your gearbox will not have a connection anymore. In this case, the recovery and the breakdown is going to be very, very strenuous and very difficult, and unfortunately clutch damages caused by situations like this are not covered by your insurance and will need to be carried by yourself. So it's very important to use your clutch in the correct way and really try to put as minimal of strain on it as possible. You really engage your low gear, put into your first gear, and then you let your clutch come out and remove your foot from the clutch. Do not leave it halfway in and rev the car. This will cause your clutch to burn. After I have adjusted the tire pressure to the correct pressure, I enter the car and then engage the low 4 gear. Another important thing, especially to do in these situations, is also to engage your diff lock. With the Land Cruiser, the diff lock button sits here, and you have a rear diff lock and a front diff lock. This is quite special with this car. With the other cars, with the Hiluxes, you will have a button more or less here where you can engage your rear diff lock and only your rear diff lock. And the diff lock has the function that if you get stuck, it sometimes happens because of your differential that only one tire or one wheel is being turned on the one side and the other one is stationary. And as soon as you engage your diff lock, then both tires left and on the left and right side are going to be driven with the same speed. So there's more traction and it's easier to get out of the situation. A diff lock can only be used when driving straight or maybe in soft sand or in mud where you can have slip on one tire. If you want to drive through corners or maybe on a hard road, you may never engage a diff lock. Otherwise you could damage your differentials, and it's also going to make driving very difficult because your car doesn't want to steer, it just wants to go straight. So as soon as you engaged your 4x4, the green light will go on. As soon as you put your diff locks on, the red lights will appear. If they flicker, it hasn't engaged yet, but as soon as you start driving and there's a slip on one tire, then the light stays on permanently and then your diff lock is engaged. So this was now the easy situation. We got unstuck without any external help. But now we can go deep into the topic if you shouldn't get unstuck doing this. There's also another possibility or another means how to get unstuck. If there's no other cars around, if you don't manage to get your car out yourself, there's no other cars around that can pull you maybe out or winch you out. A good help is also bystanders or even passengers that can assist with pushing the car into the direction that you want to go to. Pressure is being applied and some forces being applied can help you to get unstuck. So get your passengers or any bystanders to help push your car into the direction you want to go. All right, push.